Zooming into this broadcast lens, we cross the boundary of the most complex live production on Earth. Delivering 104 matches to 5 billion viewers requires a system that extracts the physical reality of a soccer pitch with microsecond precision. Instead of flying thousands of technical personnel nomadically from city to city, the 2026 tournament establishes 16 stationary, highly specialized production teams across the North American continent. To capture the match, engineers deploy Super 35mm global shutter sensors. Super 35 refers to a large format cinematic imaging size, while a global shutter captures every single pixel of light simultaneously. This optical architecture prevents visual skewing and digital flickering caused by massive LED perimeter boards in modern stadiums. This is the exact point of view generated by the RefCam, a 14-gram head-mounted optical sensor worn by the match official. To guarantee this feed never drops out, it transmits over a private 5G slice. This is a localized, dedicated cellular network that completely bypasses the saturated public cell towers struggling to support 80,000 fan phones. This 45-camera arsenal samples the geometry, light, and motion of the pitch, instantly translating a physical event into billions of uncompressed digital data points. Sound is captured by a perimeter of over 80 microphones. To avoid wiring the entire pitch, engineers use digitally steerable arrays. These intelligent units utilize internal processing to cast targeted acoustic nets, invisible pickup lobes, across specific high-traffic zones of the grass. The acoustic objective is highly specific. The system must isolate a tiny transient impact, like a leather boot striking the ball, without raising the background noise floor of 80,000 screaming fans. The final mix is delivered in 5.14 spatial audio, an immersive 3D sound format requiring standard ear-level surround speakers plus 4 overhead height channels. But compiling this dense acoustic geometry means absolutely nothing if the massive data files remain trapped inside the stadium walls. This aerial view shows the International Broadcast Center in Dallas. Spanning 485,000 square feet, it acts as the central nervous system for 16 remote stadiums. The heavy equipment and personnel no longer sit in a crowded compound of production trucks parked outside the stadium. This represents the Remote Integration Model, or REMI, where the physical cameras stay at the venue, but the heavy computational processing is pushed hundreds of miles away over high-speed fiber optics. Inside this production center, elite broadcast engineers sit in Texas, continuously monitoring the color balance and iris exposure of a lens currently operating in Vancouver. The ST2110 IP protocol splits the heavy television feed into independent data streams for video, audio, and metadata. As separate network packets, an audio engineer can pull a crowd reaction directly off the switch, completely bypassing the massive 4K video file. Through this invisible IP architecture, a centralized team curates the match's exact visual and auditory reality in real time. This is the forensic intensity of live replay editing. Operators access 45 simultaneous camera angles, using local servers to instantly clip and speed ramp high-resolution footage. Their output is the clean feed. This is the pristine world canvas, containing only the raw, high-definition video cuts and the ambient stadium noise, stripped of any commentary or scoreboards. Local television networks convert this into a dirty feed by applying their own key and fill graphic signals. The key provides the transparency mask, and the fill supplies the actual colors and text to create customized scorebugs and localized studio analysis. AI optical tracking analyzes the camera's perspective without physical sensors, painting virtual data, like offside lines, directly underneath the player's boots. This same spatial logic drives digital board replacement. The system identifies physical advertisements, erases them, and renders perfectly scaled region-specific sponsorships in their place. The Dallas IBC ingests the data of one physical soccer game and simultaneously mints over 200 distinct, culturally customized broadcasts for different territories around the globe. To move these heavy files from Texas to international networks, engineers utilize high-capacity terrestrial fiber optics backed by C-band global satellites. This microwave frequency resists weather interference, ensuring the signal never drops. At the local network hub, broadcast technicians face a severe mathematical constraint. They must squeeze a pristine 4K HDR stream, high dynamic range, which contains massive volumes of contrast and color data, down into a narrow 1080p standard dynamic range feed for legacy televisions. To prevent the bright sunlight from blowing out white and the shadows from turning to black mush, specialized broadcast processors apply 3D lookup tables. These complex mathematical maps safely recalculate every single pixel's color value on the fly. Billions of dollars are spent perfecting the glass lenses and microphones at the stadium, but the picture delivered to a home viewer is entirely bottlenecked by the physical limitations of their local distribution network. Traditional cable television scales infinitely. Sending a signal to one house takes the exact same bandwidth as sending it to 10 million. However, over-the-top internet streaming requires the origin server to generate and send a distinct, individualized video feed to every single phone and smart TV that requests it. To survive the server-crushing demand of millions of concurrent viewers, streaming platforms push the video out to a multi-CDN setup. A content delivery network duplicates the feed across thousands of edge servers, physically located closer to the end users. This diagram shows the Common Media Application Format, or CMAF, the broadcast industry's primary weapon against extreme streaming latency. Rather than waiting for a full 6-second video block to buffer, CMAF relies on chunked transfer encoding. By chopping the video into tiny slices, a user's phone can download the first milliseconds of a penalty kick while the ball is still physically flying toward the net on the origin server. Wonder, impact. A $4.26 billion commercial enterprise rests entirely on this exact sequence. From the physical bending of light in a glass lens, to the routing of an IP packet, to the final pixel illuminating your screen. It is a flawless, microsecond perfect chain connecting a single patch of grass to 5 billion human beings.